they hid it and we're sharing. Who knows? That's just so appalling.
Yeah, having been around Senator Byrd so much, it's important to note that he opened up an office in the FBI building in the 80s to set up the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children as a catchment for human trafficking and child sex trafficking. It was to put them back into the system, and the system's been corrupted for a very, very long time. The FBI is very complicit in all of this, but when we start looking at the structure, it's easier to understand how that corruption has been permeating our society for so long, because you get one corrupt head of the FBI at the very top, and then all of the FBI agents march to orders and do what they're told. And then the FBI has authority over all local law enforcement. They can come in on any case, invoke national security. They come in on any case and take it over. And then subsequently, we got this one corrupt head of the FBI influencing all level of law enforcement, except of course for our sheriffs, who are constitutional, hopefully, and don't have to follow orders of the FBI and the federal government. So it's the way that has been deliberately structured for so long shows how pervasive this pedophile agenda has been. The pedophile agenda is a mind control agenda, and it's one that's just being openly pushed in the schools now. We're seeing it everywhere. And they're trying to act like it's something normal when it's not. It is a mind control agenda. There's a lot of people who have been affected adversely. It's got to stop. Awareness is the first step towards that positive, necessary change. That's why I'm so happy for this discussion here today, because we get to, bring this information to light in a comprehensive way to let people know exactly how pervasive it really is.
Yes.
There's so many questions I have for you.
Go ahead, Greg.
But I wanted the thing that grabbed me the most of all the things that you've said in the last was the talk about George Romney, was the governor. And I think of Mitt Romney, obviously, and I just looked him up, and sure enough, he was born in Detroit. And he's about a decade older than you are. But I'm just wondering now, because this was going on clearly in Michigan, and Gerald Ford was part of it, and George Romney was part of it. Obviously, was this is my question: was Mitt Romney? No doubt he was like Bush Jr. I mean, he was abused, but he was abused with the intention of making him someone that they could use. Obviously, is it? Or that's my guess. I just want some confirmation. Did you know any of that personally, or you just knew of it?
I do. I know that that Bush Jr. was an absolute Manchurian candidate from. Yeah.
I'm thinking Mitt Romney was too.
Presidency. And Mitt, I'm not sure what his was, because sometimes the lineage just passes down the propensity for controlling other people and for the pedophile agenda or whatever. I don't know if his was inherent. I don't know if he was like his mother or his father. The point being that there was no good way out of that one. So could he heal? I don't know. Maybe someday he'll remember who he is and why he's here, and just expose the whole mess. But I don't know if he can think to do that. It's hard to tell. Mind control is such a sliding scale. And I don't know where he falls in it, but he was certainly exposed to a lot of MK Ultra one way or the other.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. How does somebody know all right, so we've all been influenced, mind controlled by the media and everything ever since childhood, education. But how does somebody know that, that they're out, I don't know, assassinating foreign leaders or in prostitution without the knowledge? How does somebody know? Is there something in the back of their mind that triggers them? I mean, maybe it's Greg. Maybe it's. I mean, how does somebody know? I mean, is there like a way, write out your whole diary of your life just as an exercise? I mean, there's got to be some way. I mean, you didn't know until
No,
Mark came
I
along.
didn't know. And when I started writing out my memory, I was appalled at what I had been forced to do under mind control. I was appalled at what the plan was for all of humanity. I was devastated by it. And I told Mark, I said, I can't live with myself after what I've been forced to do. And he said, you're not responsible for
Right.
what you're tortured to do under mind control. Your abusers are, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. And he said, but now that you're aware, you are responsible for all of your actions going forward. So that was like a great thing to me. Responsibility, the ability to respond, the ability to consciously choose, and I decided I would do everything out of love and true to soul and make sure that I was never manipulated again. And that's the knowledge that's our defense against mind control. And it's something that we all can evolve with. But as for being able to choose under mind control, there is no choice under mind control, not
Okay.
the level that I was under. Because if there had been a choice, I would have protected my daughter.
Yeah.
That was my main thing. I didn't have an ability to protect myself, and I couldn't protect my own child. And that is the greatest violation against our innate being and a mother's love.
Yeah.
It was so much so that it was the number one trauma used on me to make me do things, like it'd be like, if you do this, your daughter will be fine, or whatever. Otherwise, she's gonna get the abuse. And they told her the same thing. We found out in later years they had told her, well, if you do it, we won't hurt your mom. So it was just, we were used against each other in that regard. But I was never able to protect her effectively and get her out of the situation. Instead, I was just taking more torture. That was the best I could do to protect her. So there's no rationalization, there's no logical thought, there's no free thought happening at all.
Hey, if you like these kind of conversations and you'd like to see more, click like and subscribe to our channel. And if you're at the computer and you'd like to hear the whole podcast, click right here.